Well, hello there. Lord Kaz here. And this is the third attempt I've made at this video because I talk a lot and I meant for this to be a like 5-10 minute video. And the first two times I tried, it was 30 minutes. And I'm not doing that this time. So I'm going to go through a list here of things. And what today's video is I know I promised everybody a helmet video. Well, I'm doing the helmet right. So it's taking a little bit longer because I am painting it, and the way that I paint is different, and we'll discuss that in the video, and I'm doing it again. So sorry. ADD, hello. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is a source, a tool for you to use to I'm going to take these off because the glare I know is killing everybody. I need them to see, but right now I'm not reading anything, so I want to give you guys a source, the new people, the people just getting back in, that we didn't have 20 years ago. Now, obviously, the internet, no brainer, but there is a site on the internet that some people don't use it because of issues. Other people use it, like me, because it saves them a crap ton of money, and that's Temu. Now, Temu, I'm sure you've heard of it. You see it in commercials. Um, Sometimes they're a pain in the butt. Just turn off notifications and they'll stop spamming you. But what they're good for is if you look for it, you could find stuff that you can bring along to SCA events, and you're making an effort to appear to have come from that period of 0 up to 1600. So we're going to go through some of my purchases that I've made. I'll tell you what it cost me, and I'll tell you the reasoning why I've done it. So give me a second, and I'm going to grab things one at a time. It's behind me, not the best planned out, but having done this now, this is my third time. I kept on piling everything up over here, and I'm not going to do that again. Okay? So, first, I'm going to say I'm getting back into leatherworking. And leatherworking tools are freaking expensive. I went to Joann Fabric yesterday to look at some material for the gambeson. Not the gambeson and the, excuse me, the brigandine armor I'm going to make. And it's expensive, of course. But leatherworking tools are expensive. A pouch of, I want to say 25, what are called Chicago screws, was $5. Now, that's a lot of money for Chicago screws when I can go onto Temu and purchase 110 Chicago screws for literally like $4.95. Okay, they came in their own neat little container, not just a plastic packaging, and little tools to put them in. What Chicago screws are, for those who don't know, those are basically rivets that screw together instead of requiring a hammer. They're great for armor repair and even construction, as long as you use some Loctite on the threads. I recommend red because that stuff you'll probably have to grind them out if you ever need to replace them. Second thing I want to cover is I believe that garb in general, people carry knives because it's a very utilitarian tool. And until the invention of spoons and forks, that's what you ate with. So I picked up two knives. One of them was a nifty little knife. This guy cost about, I think, $13. And it came in its own little, I think it's real leather, might be PU, but it came in its own little sheath. And hard to see, but it is the sheath itself has the pattern of a leaf on it, or kind of like a leaf-like pattern, and the knife itself has a leaf-like pattern on the blade etched in. It is sharp. You can cut food with this. You can cut yourself with this. So be careful with it. But this little guy was, like I said, $12, $13. Not that expensive for something that looks that cool. It even has a little belt loop on it. Second knife I purchased. Well, my persona is Polish Lithuanian. He was a soldier for a while, or a man at arms. I don't say knight because I don't have a horse, but an unhorsed knight. Anyway, he wore armor, damn it. But he was also, in his later years, as he grew white in hair and long of tooth, he became a merchant, a traveling merchant across the world. And It took him to all sorts of interesting places. And one of the places that he passed through was the Ottoman Empire. Now, of course, if you're going to pass through the Ottoman Empire as a merchant, you're going to pick up a few things because they had shit that Europe didn't have. And one of the things that I decided he is going to pick up was a knife that looks like it's of a different origin than European. So this guy here, this was 30, which is not a bad price for a knife like this. It has a beautiful handle. This is a leather sheath, and that blade is sharp as hell. I know because I've cut meat with it. But the handle, everything is, I mean, it's got etchings and engravings, even along the back of the handle. This is a very pretty blade. So this is going to become part of my garb, and this goes back into its leather sheath, and this will be carried with me. If anybody asks why I have it, I'll say, well, I bought it from the when I was passing through Istanbul. So tell me I didn't. Next up, cheap garb. Now, when I say cheap garb, since you're new or just returning, you don't want to spend $10,000 on an outfit. Or maybe you do because you've got the money. I don't, because I don't have the money. So I picked up this, which is kind of a tabardy vesty thing that it's hard to really display, but basically you'll get it. It's got the can you guys see that? Sort of, not really. Um anyway, trust me. This is more of a drape than a garb piece. If you're wearing a baggy shirt and a pair of sweats in your camp, you toss this over it, and you're going to pass as something that you're trying to look from the time period. And it's important because it's all about setting up the immersion of the event. So this guy, I bought two of these for $20, and that's not 20 a piece; that's 10 a piece, and they're great. You throw them over your back, and you have a knee length garby type of covering. And unfortunately, I was stupid. You may have thought, oh, it's a good idea, buy two. Yeah, well, I accidentally put a quantity of two on the same color. Don't do that. Next up, let's see. Oh, yes. Now, they offer kind of janky armor, but because I'm getting back into leather and I don't have any patterns, I spent $5 on these. Now, at first appearance, you're like, the hell is that? That is a vambrace. Now, I tried it on and I don't like the floppy thing on top, so I'm going to get rid of that when I make my pattern or my armor with this. So I will disassemble this lower portion. I will put that on a piece of armor. I will cut it out, and then I will make my own damn leather armor of a thicker and sturdier quality. And I will probably get a piece of aluminum or steel cut to that area and have my coat of arms put on it. But this is the pattern I'm going to use to create it. What does it look like when it's all rolled up? Well, it kind of looks like this. Put that on real quick to give you an example of how it looks. But again, for $5, that's a good pattern. And if you're not going to fight, you just want to have something that looks kind of authentic or kind of period for a new person, hey, that's awesome. Walk around with that. Of course, your arm's going to sweat, and you'll probably end up with forearms that big because of everything that's melted off of them because it's warm. But yeah, so $5. Again, look, watch, purchase when you want. All right, next up, wood cup. Just for having around camp. No question, it's wood. So anything with natural materials is always good. That was I think $2, $1.98. Now we're getting to some fun stuff. Now everybody should have bowls, spoons for your camp. Maybe carry a small one with you if someone says, "Hey, you want to try this stew?" or "Hey, you want to try this soup?" Well, this isn't the best way to receive it. So I picked up two of these. Um, these are coconut bowls. They are natural fiber. And of course, what they're also good for is if you don't have a horse, aka Monty Python, and you know damn well that these are going to end up leading conversations about the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow. Very important. If you know, you know. And it also came with two little spoons, so you toss this into a good sized pouch when you're wandering around, and you have just opened up the world because no one can offer you anything that you cannot put in a bowl and eat with a spoon. Piece of meat, I'll figure it out. So next up, I've got two more items. One of them is a double item, and that is carrying water around. Now, carrying water is very important. A lot of people, how would I put this? People talk about carrying around plastic water bottles. Here's my problem with that. I am a veteran of Burning Man. And what that means is that I believe very firmly in the concept of leave a place better than you found it. So when you go to an event, I recommend not bringing 16.9 ounce bottles of water because, quite honestly, they're just going to end up in a landfill and they're going to choke the earth even more. Don't get me started. What I do recommend is coming up with some other kind of water container. For example, I have these. Now, Path, they come in an aluminum bottle, and you can see this has seen some use by the dents in it, but it is not, I mean, it's disposable, but it's also recyclable, and you can toss it into a pouch, and you're not carrying plastic around. I recommend bringing either the gallon containers of water that you can get at the Dollar General, or purchase yourself one of those 5 gallon the collapsible water containers, and just keep on filling up your metal water container. Now, here are some of my favorite finds. This little guy here was like $7, and this is a 16.9 ounce stainless steel gourd shaped container with its own little carry strap. Now, it might not be period, but damn, it's cool. And I guarantee that you will have more people asking you, where did you get that, than there are going to walk up to you and say, that's not period. So that's a 16.9 one. Now, I saw this, and then I blinked twice and realized that, no, that is not a zoom of the same thing. The additional picture in that was this. This is a 59 ounce or almost half gallon container set up the same way. It's like the big brother of the 16.9. And it also comes with its own carry strap. So these guys, I love these. I think these are the coolest thing ever. I mean, I can take this, use it for water. I could take this, use it for booze, or vice versa. It'd probably be better if I use this for water, though, wouldn't it? I guess. Anyway, so those are water containers. Bam, figured out. Nobody can convince me that this is not one of the coolest things ever. Now, last but not least, everybody needs a mug. Everybody, I don't care who you are, the lowest citizen of the realm to the king, you need a mug. So, again, poking around on Temu, I found a mug that is very cool looking. It is not made out of period materials, but again, this is one of those things because it does have a stainless steel thermal liner. You'll probably get more questions about where did you get that instead of someone walking up to you and telling you it's not period. But this is the mug that I spent, I think, $14 on. Now, how cool is that? Throw that on a mug? Who's going to complain? Someone will walk up to me and say, hey, that's not period? I think not. And it holds, I want to say, probably a good 20 ounces. So yeah, that was like 14, 15 bucks. So again, this pile of stuff that I got, that it's all useful for what we're doing, was under $100. Now that blade alone, you couldn't find that in a store, or I mean, with an edge on it, for under 60 to 70, maybe even $100. It's a gorgeous knife. It's well made. It's sharp. So the main push of this today is open up your mind, look in everywhere you can think, some places likely, some places unlikely, and you will start finding little treasures that you can add to your ditty bag, if you want to call it that, for events. Stuff I got here under $100. I'm able to start getting my leather tools back together. I'm getting accents for my persona, for my journey off of Temu. Check it out, try it out. I'm not being promoted by them. I'm not receiving any type of sponsorship. In fact, I'm sure that there's a way for me to put a code down below so I could make bank off of what. I'm not going to do that. I'm just recommending you take a look at Temu, type in medieval, type in whatever you're looking for, and you're going to find something that you might be able to incorporate into your persona's kit at a lot less than you thought it was going to cost. The one caveat I have to all this: do not buy armor off of Temu because it's garbage, it's thin, it is 20 gauge, and you will get hurt. And it's not that well made either. More discussion on that later, different video. So until next time, guys, take care of yourselves, be noble, be chivalrous in the thought process of the SCA, and just have a good time. So until next time, you take care, and remember, life is what you make it, so let's make it fun. Have a good one.